Hi ragazzi, ciao guys, welcome back to another video. Zamo here. How are you guys doing? Today I'm back to my flighting steward uniform, with my beautiful ribbon because we have to fly high. It's very warm here in Amsterdam for once. A glass of water and we can discuss our video. Every week, by the way, we talk fashion, we talk design, we talk bus story, we talk retail. It's always nice to have a chat. If you haven't already, don't forget to follow, subscribe and like. You can always comment spaghetti or spaghetti meatballs. And thank you for all the new followers. It was great to see that you're loving my last few videos. My ego is over the roof. Yeah. Simple outfit, ribbon on, big sign behind, Zamo. Today we're gonna discuss something that I've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks. If I had to completely start again from scratch my fashion journey, which are like the questions that I should be asking myself. So overall, I have 7 questions that we can ask ourselves, or anyways, reflections that we can keep in mind towards our fashion journey. We can start to have a conversation about that. We can also have a conversation in the comment. Curious to know what you guys think and what is your take. Let's say recommendation, illustration of what my process was, and what I would tell if my twin, somebody else, a friend, just came to me tomorrow and I was like, yo, I'm trying to start my fashion journey, or I'm not satisfied with what I'm wearing, how can I improve my shit? And what I would tell him is just like, hey, why don't you ask yourself this question, why don't you reflect about this and go step by step while keeping this conversation in your mind. So yeah, grab your coffee, grab your water, and let's get into it. First point, the first question that I would urge everyone to ask themselves: are you aware that fashion is always changing? Fashion is always changing, and again, maybe it's obvious. Both your sense of style, your necessities in life, how everything around you is changing. It's a constant, right? So it's absolutely normal if you find yourself in a moment in your life in which you're not happy with what you're wearing. Can be during your teenage years, during your first working days, can be today. Be aware of the fact that it's always right that you always want to go somewhere and change a little bit. It's part of the game. This is also because there are trends, and you can think about how 100 years ago in 1924 wearing a suit was normal and wearing a suit wasn't cool and wasn't preppy. The role of workwear, for example. First of all, ask yourself, am I aware of the fact that fashion is always changing? Don't feel uncomfortable or don't feel uncertain in the fact that you want something different. That's absolutely normal, and that's again is a great point to address. That's also normal, that in the past you had different styles, now you want something new. That's part of the spinning of the earth. So that's the first point. Style is always changing, your personal style is always changing, your necessities are changing. That's absolutely okay with it, and it's a great sign. The second, let's say, styling, fashion inspiration, the second styling and question that I would ask to this hypothetical friend or to myself if I had to start from scratch would be like, okay, who is your inspiration? And it doesn't have to be too deep. I'm just saying like, hey, if you go out today, who did you see in the movies, in YouTube, in real life, in the street that you like the style of, right? Is it because you were liking their confidence, how they were walking, like the color? Was it the uniqueness? Was it because it was different? Was it because it seemed to you good quality? Was it because there was a lot of logos that you associate with successfulness? That's really interesting to see because we all have, our style icons in mind, and we can all name, people in our circle, people at our work, people that we saw on YouTube once that are super stylish in our mind, in our eye. And I think it's really interesting to go through the process and understand, just write down, just collect like a little bit of a mood board of who am I seeing that's cool. It's okay, again, to have your own personal sense of style. Take your time, do some research, gain inspiration for yourself from that, and also try to understand a little bit the process. Why do you think that these people are stylish? Is it because they look like they work? Is it because what they're wearing is messy? Just build with that and try to, add in the picture the fact that you're aware that you are finding stylish something because. A third thing, which again might be a slightly controversial, the question you have to ask yourself is like, are you dressing yourself for yourself or for other people? Again, this is kind of like an egg and chicken kind of question because, of course, if you're dressing for yourself, you want to be happy, but also, there's always a reflection in society. Overall, just super simply, there is no shame in being like, hey, I just got a new job. I want to dress, like the part. I want to impress my clients. I want to impress my colleagues. I want to impress my partner. I'm looking for a partner in life. I want to look good. I want to look cool. There's absolutely no problem with that. A bit more towards dressing yourself for other people. If instead, you just want to express yourself, you want to be unique, stand out, you want to do what no one else is doing. In that case, of course, you're a bit more focused on yourself, and your values can be like, I want to wear something that no one has, or I want to wear something that I made myself, or I want to be incredibly artistic and wear something inside out and wear something, again, like a manifesto, of my beliefs. There's also a question that you can ask yourself, and again, decide where you stand on the path. There is no shame in dressing yourself for other people. It's a absolutely common, normal human behavior, and actually it's important to address that, you know, because I remember, for example, last year I was working in the design sector, and you know, you go to fairs, you go to Milano Design Week, you travel a lot, and it really took me a while to figure out how I wanted to be perceived when I was going on a fair in a creative sector, because they're different compared to maybe a corporate environment, right? You don't want to look formal, you want to look like you're dressing, but you're also creative. You have like a cool pair of sneakers on, and maybe you have like a t-shirt on and some colors and some micro brand. For example, I am still to this day wearing my Bonne Suit, and yeah, I mean, that's a great piece, you know, so there is no shame in, you know, trying to find you in your own way. Let's see where that brings you. It's absolutely okay to dressing for others, and actually it's good to be honest, right? Another great question, you know, is how important is the conditions of your clothing? So let's be honest here. If you're starting your fashion journey, maybe you don't know, or maybe you're deep into some other trends, but certain styles are really relying on the condition of your clothing, and others completely don't care, actually. So let's make an example. If you're wearing black, for example, you're gonna have a lot of dandruff on it. You're gonna have a lot of dust. Black is hard to keep clean. If you're wearing like a lot of natural fiber, wool, for example, you're gonna have like a lot of residuals of wool everywhere else. If you are wearing a lot of shirts, they have to be ironed. If you have to wear linen, you have to iron it all the time. It's gonna crease regardless. If you are into, you know, you want to get into Western and like boots and menswear and denim, for example, like indigo denim and rose self-edge denim is very hard to break in. Same thing with boots, they're heavy. So like, I think it's really important to understand like, okay, how involved do I want to be every day in the condition of my clothing? Like, of course, having washed clothes is important. I wear only streetwear hoodies, 400 GSMs, fantastic, but you know how hard it is to wash like a heavy streetwear hoodie? It's very hard. So keep functionality in mind, in the sense of like, okay, what's the preparation that I need to do behind the style? Like, am I okay with my leather jacket biker style being faded? Yeah, it's absolutely cool. Am I not? Okay, then go for something else. Go for nylon, for example. Same thing with like dress shoes. Be aware of the challenges in terms of preparation and maintaining every style as in its core. Same thing, for example, now I'm into this, like, let's say, unemployed tattoo artist on a day off, like biker aesthetic, and I'm really enjoying how dirty and crusty, faded, you know, my pants can be, and I really like that. It's really up to you, depending, you know, okay, how much time am I willing to dedicate to this aesthetic? Am I gonna use like a dry cleaner? Am I gonna steam everything? Am I gonna pack everything? How's my storage looking? So again, keep that in mind when deciding the next step to take in your fashion journey. And the same vibe is, how easy do you want it to get dressed in the morning? It's absolutely great to express yourself. It's absolutely great to just fit in. But how hard do you want it to make for yourself to dress in the morning? I'm just saying like, okay, high boots, they're hard to put on. If you really wanna wear a lot of colors, you know, how many colors you wanna put together? How streamlined do you want the process to be? Do you enjoy chaos? Do you want to wake up every morning and be like, you know what, I'm just like a pirate. I'm just gonna get a brown coat and I'm gonna dress like Johnny Depp and I'm gonna have fun with that, or I prefer to be more preppy. Do I want everything to be navy and beige? So keep in mind that, because of course that also impacts your life. I would recommend starting with just a few options. So if you're trying a core fit, or if you're starting to just wear Uniqlo, like, you can do everything. Just keep in mind that, again, there is idea of clothing and there is actually execution. When you're considering this new vision of yourself being avant-garde, of yourself being an employed biker, of yourself being, you know, a preppy boy, just keep in mind, okay, this overall aesthetic, how long is it gonna take for me every morning to get ready? And that means, you know, of course, how many pieces do I have? Is there like a lot of matching to be done, or is it really minimal? And overall, how that works in your lifestyle, in your daily routine, in you really getting clothes on, yeah? Then we have our last two questions. One is, how do you want your clothes to interact with your body? This is a very serious question. It's something that we always think about. And the thing is that every different styles and every piece of clothing can either have a neutral impact on your body, can hide things, or can enhance things. I have big thighs myself. I could have gone a few ways. I could have gone like wearing normal regular pants, which of course still let you see that, you know, I have big thighs. I could have gone the skin fit, you know, just own it, being super proud, looking out there like a piece of chicken. Why not? Or I could have gone instead like I'm doing, like with the baggy, flowy fit that I really like on myself. So I'm just saying, every aesthetic, every category, of course, you can also go as deep as tailoring. But in general, the idea is like, hey, does this fit work for me? Like, do I want my clothes to be soft on my body? Do I want them to be comfortable? Do I want them to be high quality? Do I want them to be dry? And with that, you can build piece by piece your aesthetic. There is no shame, again, in different moments of your life, in different levels of fitness, in different level of confidence, to be like, hey, I like to wear, for example, if you're a bit of a bigger guy, top combination, overshirt and a shirt underneath. The overshirt is gonna cover you, of course, if it's a good size. It's gonna over maybe like your weak points, and you're good to go. Or, you know, like can be like, hey, I'm a tall guy, okay, don't wear boots, otherwise you're gonna look even taller. Little things that can make you more comfortable. Keep that in mind because it's very important and is often underrated. You don't have to go as deep as tailoring, and again, I'm repeating it. I just wanna get dressed and see less shape of my body. I wanna see more. I wanna elongate my torso, following the rule of thirds. And then again, is a great question to ask yourself and a great point. Then the seventh question is my favorite, of course, as a steward myself. No, I'm kidding. The last thing you have to ask yourself is like, do I have any kind of professional constraints related to my clothing? So we all work jobs. I work a few, all them poorly. No, I'm kidding. But I come from having to wear a uniform. For example, I used to work for a CP company. And of course, if you work for fashion brands, you have to work for a uniform. So I know how frustrating at times might be, you know, the fact that 40 hours a week you have to wear something else. And it's how hard it is then, you know, to pen out from that, detach yourself, and then go into what you like wearing. Critical topic of conversation that might as well be, you know, I work an office job, so I need to wear a suit and tie. I work on my feet, so I need to wear sneakers. So, you know, there's different extent to that, but always keep in mind how your professional career in the present, in the future, anyways, any change that might happen, how that might impact your style and how edgy you want to be with it, how of a challenge you want it to be, how instead not of a challenge you want it to be. I would hate for you to have like such a strong sense of style that then has to die down once you walk into your office. It would be better to have just an honest talk with yourself. The jobs I work require me to be looking cool and curated, but nothing more. So I'm really able to express myself. I'm able to wear my dickies, my fitted denims, my leather jackets. And actually, I would say that having your personal style and doing your thing is appreciated. I'm lucky enough, again, to be working in the creative industry at the moment. Just keep that in mind as a tool. Again, it doesn't have to be just a sentence, but it has to be something like, am I gonna be able to express myself with this new style, my personal style that I'm developing right now? Is it actionable also for 48 hours a week? Do I need to take a step back? Do I need to change my career? Do I need to do the same thing in another kind of company that is a bit more flexible? Is there some edge, you know? And go over that. Yeah, guys, these were my 7 questions. Sorry if I was blabbering, you know, but that's what heat and not really a lot of circulation around my neck does. I hope you found some interesting points, and I hope, you know, those 7 points, questions, tricks, tips were something that you thought about, or anyways that you might find helpful in your fashion journey. This is something that, again, while I was writing down, really helped me think about a few things, and it's really coming from my heart. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Comment spaghetti underneath, other questions, other mental processes that guide you through your fashion journey. If you have any question, again, let them down below. I'm more than happy to assist you guys and coach you guys. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, have a beautiful weekend. Love you. Bye.